Again, I thank you for this opportunity to speak to Serrans. We have been praying and using the book, A Life of Conversion, Meeting Christ in the Gospels. As we now will shortly celebrate, or have celebrated, Easter, we know that conversion leads always to joy and peace. And I reflected in our last session on joy. But here I'd like to speak to you about peace. My prayer is that you, Serrans, with your family, your children and grandchildren, the parishes in which you have served generously, the young people you've encouraged in priesthood and religious life, and your own prayer life, that you have experienced joy and peace. The peace that Christ offered is not absence of violence or problems, rather it's a calm. It is a realization that we are loved by God. And as Jesus said as he ascended to heaven in Matthew's Gospel, know that I'm with you to the end of the age. We know that peace is absent, especially in Ukraine, and the people who have suffered horrifically at the hands of the Russian soldiers. Our prayer is that there will be peace there. But we know first peace has to be in our hearts. And peace is one of the gifts that God gives us as we seek to live our faith each day. Think of after the disciples walking on the road to Emmaus, and when they met Jesus in the breaking of the bread, and they returned back to Jerusalem, and we're told that they had joy and they had peace. Think of the other section of Luke's Gospel, towards the end, when the apostles were told, worship Christ, and they returned to Jerusalem with great joy. When Jesus came to the upper room after he rose and they were hiding there, you might think that Jesus would reprimand them for abandoning him. He'd look to Peter and scold him for denying he knew him. What does he do? The first gift that he says is, peace be with you. That is a gift that is ours, but too often we don't receive it, and we certainly don't share it. Remember, discipleship and conversion don't just stop with us. Because Christ has touched our lives and we've responded, we are called to act, and to act generously. You as Serrans, as men and women of prayer, your faith matters to you greatly. We know we live in a society and a culture, and sadly here, even in our blessed United States, where faith is increasingly overcome in certain circles by secularism. But we have to stand firm, teach the truth of Christ with charity, and as we follow Christ humbly, we know that he too will offer us those same gifts that he gave to his disciples and to his apostles in the early church, peace and joy. My prayer for you then is that you will experience that peace and joy, and that you will be blessed in the Easter season, living your faith each day and continuing to pray for priestly and religious vocations. God bless you, and know that I greatly appreciate the work you Serrans do in helping provide for a church that has generous young men and women who will be priests and religious for the future. God bless you, and happy Easter.